Welcome back to Time Out with GC. My guest is Clint Crowster, CEO, driver, director, founder, daddy, husband, and also helping his staff become better people. Now this book right here, Super Fired Up and Focus, I think it's going to be part 2, Super Suited Up and Focus. Now Clint and his wife, Roxanne, drove around for 30 minutes. Now listen to this, buying his own book because they couldn't find it in the bookstores. I mean, that must feel so good knowing that you have to buy your own book. Spend 300 Rand on your own book. Why not? 150 Rand a book.
Yeah.
Man, this is an amazing story. Took you 6 months to write this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Good.
How did that come about?
Writing the book, it's always been a goal of mine, to document some part of my life, so that one day when my kids grow up, that they could read a little bit into who I really was and what my journey was, you know, instead of just looking at where they are now and not knowing how it all came about. So it's always been a goal of mine. I'm a firm believer. I wanted to do many things. I wanted to have my own show, Gershon. I wanted to write a book. When I even wanted to be on the radio. And every time I tried these things, I got shut down. So I realized that I'm going to make it happen for myself. Self-publish the book, you know, and get it into bookstores myself. So I found a distributor, and as long as I found a distributor who had contacts with the different stores, like your exclusive books, etc., they put it in the stores. And that's what we did, and we made it happen. Getting it online, take a lot, shut me down. Eventually, I got it right through, what was the company's name? I can't remember what the company's name was now, but now it's on Takealot. I even put it on Amazon via Reach Publishers, who did the editing of the book. So my point here is, whenever doors close for you, find a way to open them yourselves. And this is what I mean by being able to spot an opportunity and then seize one.
What I like about the book itself, though, is that after every chapter, there are 2 pages that you can make your own notes. Look at that. Beautiful. So you can make your own notes, reflect, and say, hey, this really touched me in a certain way that I can now become more super fired up and focused. You also, at the time, when you were getting into call center age or becoming a call center agent, you were reading quite a bit. And there were many people like Anthony Robin, Les Brown. These are guys that inspired you when it came to sales.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I first heard of Les Brown when I was driving in my friend's car. He was a sales representative for a tire brand, a big tire brand in South Africa. I said, "What's that? What is that you're listening to?" He says, "That's Les Brown." And he would say things like, Les Brown would say things like, "It's not over until you win." You know, and this got me thinking. You know, you can't stop. You've got to go until you succeed. But those were people: Les Brown, Anthony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Jeffrey Gittimer. Those were individuals I needed to study in order to be better at what I was doing in the contact center space, because I was in sales. So I needed to learn from the greats in order to apply what they knew or said worked for them, and see where it worked and how it could benefit me in my business, in my workspace.
Right at the back, you can always read at the back what the author himself thinks of his book. And what I like here is, we aim to dominate this space too in the next chapter of our 5-year journey to date. 23rd of June, we're celebrating 8 years.
That's right.
When are these 5 years happening?
I can't believe it. So that book was written 3 years ago, which I then talk about 5 years. I've got something amazing happening, but I can't talk too much about it. It's about creating more work.
So that's 2 years left in that 5-year plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're on track. So touch wood, it happens. I mean, it's all in His plan, in God's plan. But if that happens, we're going to be able to provide more jobs for the community in the Grassy Park area. And that is what it's all about.
We'll get to the job and what Clint does with community, with youngsters who perhaps didn't study further and they find themselves at a cul-de-sac, don't know where to go. I normally say kick the wall down and go straight through and make it a full way. That's what I do. Yeah. You've got 60 staff at the moment.
Yes.
And someone that plays a big role in your life is Mrs. C, Auntie Juanita, who's an educator, Clint's mom.
I think that's where I get it from. She's always, the one quote that I can always remember on the mirror in my room growing up was, aim for the moon, And if you don't reach it, you will definitely hit one of the stars. Yeah.
And then name a star after you. Why not?
Absolutely. So she was an educator, and that's where I think I got my ability to want to train, teach other individuals. Obviously, it's not happening in the classroom space, it's happening in the work environment, but I think I got everything from Juanita in that regard, yes.
I just opened up the book to page 50, and right on the top it says, never give up. You never know how close you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of individuals that work in my organization who have now become performance coaches or team leaders or managers. And I don't think, if they're honest with themselves, I don't think they ever saw that in themselves back in the day when they were going through some challenges. You know, so it's amazing what happens when you just keep going, as you say.
Now, Clint is super suited up, but I've seen pictures of you, cap skew, baggy top.
Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I've seen your weekend look too on social media.
In fact, we were at a birthday party the other day, or not a birthday party, just a social gathering at someone's house, and someone said, I remember you, Clint. You used to hang out that vibe in the aisles with your check shirt and your fluffy
with
Levi.
yeah.
exactly,
You had
yes,
that
yes,
stick
and
up against
dancing
your
the
wall.
altars like everyone else. Yes, of course, love those days, still love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man, let's talk about your business. There have been success stories, which obviously outweighs the negative ones.
Yeah.
But as you said, as a business owner, there are also times where there was self-doubt.
Yeah.
We didn't know what is going to happen, from taking your family home, turning it into a business, knocking down walls. And that is what it is in life, knocking
Yes.
down those walls that keep you back.
Yes.
You have a module that works for community,
Yeah.
those that feel they can't become successful.
Yes.
Let's talk about that module. What are you looking for? How are you helping?
Gershon, it's very simple. For me, firstly, let me take a step back and think that I think the government should add, as part of their curriculum, a sales course in matric for all school learners. Because yes, the unemployment rate is so high in South Africa, but if you open up career times right now, everybody's looking for a sales individual. There are so many sales jobs available now. For these sales jobs, you need sales experience because you're going to perhaps work on commission only. Now, these guys can't get those jobs because they don't have the sales experience. How are they ever going to get that sales experience? So what we do at AskOsca is, if you've got no matric, if you've got no work experience, that's okay. We're going to give it to you. We're the so-called experts in the industry, right?
Hold
We've
on,
got the
someone is
experience.
saying, what? Excuse me? Did you just say no matric, didn't finish school?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
We're the so-called experts in the industry. We're the ones with experience. So what are we doing about it? So we've got to share that and pay it forward with the guys that don't have this experience. So we have, I've got another division called the AskOsca Academy. So we get them into the academy and we provide them all the skills. They might not be the best sort of skills out there, but it's what we know and it's what worked for me over the last 20 plus years. So we give it to them. We give them everything we know, from telephone etiquette to how to self-motivate yourself, to how to write down goals, to how to draw up your CV in the right way, how to tell the right story in your CV, because that's important, and then how to give you the sales skills that will help you on the telephone, and how to give you good customer service skills that will help you provide good or meritorious customer service in your interactions with customers over the telephone internationally. So these guys with no matric and no work experience take their first calls to the UK, Europe, or the USA.
Because ultimately, I mean, I know I receive probably in a day anything between
I knew this was coming. Yeah.
8 or 20 calls.
Yes.
And the first thing is, it's this cold, tired,
Yeah.
hello.
And
Is
not
this Mr. Kutsi speaking?
and not to mention those robocalls, right?
Yes.
Press 1 if you're interested. Press 2 if you're not.
I was going to say this guy should go into a call center business. You have that voice.
So I say to the guys, sometimes our jobs are at risk. by
You
those
train them
robocalls.
how to be warm, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Train them how to have an interaction, a conversation, much like this, Gershon. It's not about just sounding scripted on the call. Anybody can do that. But it's how warm you are, as you put it, how friendly your tone is, using the right pace and engaging with your customer. A two-way conversation, using open-ended questions to have that conversation. And not just, hi, my name is Clint, I'm calling on behalf of ABC Company. Are you interested in this mobile contract today? No.
Man, I switched that phone off immediately.
Exactly.
I'm done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You may as well put a tape recorder there and get your customers to press 1 for yes and 2 for no. And the reason why more customers will buy is because people buy from people. They don't buy from anybody else. They buy people. They buy into you, Gershon, and your personality and what you're about and what you give them when you're interacting with them.
How long does, I've always wanted to know this question, seeing that you are here, and
Yeah.
BPO and sales and calls is your business. How long does a call center agent have to keep a client on the phone that it's ticked as a success call?
Right. So that's a complex question to ask. It
It's a
might
good
seem simple.
question.
It's a great
Come
question.
on, it's a
great. No,
great
it's a great
question,
question.
yeah.
But it depends on what they're selling.
Yeah.
But for me, it's all about until you find the solution for your customer. So you need to control the call. You need to be assertive in doing so, but also professional. But you're in control. If you let a customer run away with you, they'll tell you stories until the sun comes up or the sun goes down, because some people just love to talk on the phone. But you're in control. You must be assertive and do that professionally. So it's about until you find the solution for the customer. So your techniques that you learn enables you to help the customer with their challenges. And if you're helping the customer with their challenges, you're then coming to a solution. Once you come to a solution, you can then sell the benefits or the advantages of your product or your service. And once you do that, that generally then takes us towards concluding the call.
You've also created this very harmonious, family, positive vibe at your business.
Yeah, we have to. It's like I said, where I learned about this industry and where I felt that sort of culture, I try to create in my business. So it's about helping one another. I want to know what your challenges are in life because we want to help you. We need to know what our challenges are when we're at work because we need to help each other. So it's a real family. When someone joins, it's welcome to the family, not welcome to AskOsca. Everybody chips in with welcome to the familia, etc. Everybody's on a WhatsApp group. When we have get-togethers and the award ceremonies, people can't wait to be together, especially now with the current situation we find ourselves in, because the majority of staff, they're all working from home, right? So we have to try and foster that environment because that brings the best out of people. When you're comfortable, you see your best.
Are you going to change your module now that people are working from home, COVID, etc.?
It's helped benefit my business in a great way. So I spoke about this project that's in the pipeline that I can't talk about
Yeah,
too much
2 years
because I
ago.
wanted to
Yeah.
manifest. But this is sort of, we've sort of stumbled onto this strategy by chance because of the situation we find ourselves in. Now we can grow our work from home network. What does that mean? I don't need the capital anymore to invest in my business and get a bigger building or go and rent space in a commercial block and pay a fortune in the rent. Now I can grow that network from home. So what we're doing is, and in partnership with Cape PPO and the City of Cape Town, is we're taking youth and we're providing them with skills and giving them an NQF level 3 qualification in contact centers. It's a 12-month program. So I train the individuals up at AskOsca, which is now 95% empty. But we fill it, we train individuals up. We're training 20 at the moment. We train them up for 2 months. After those 2 months, when they're ready to work from home on their own without supervision, once they've acquired all the right skills from us and all our partners, we then move them out to work from home.
NQF is an acronym for?
National Qualification Framework. It's a CETA accredited qualification in contact centers.
All right.
So these guys come out of matric, they get a qualification, and they're working at the same time. It's beautiful. And thereafter, they decide on what they want to do.
My guest, Clint Crowster, CEO, AskOsca, and also super suited up and focused. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Good to have you.
You're most welcome.
All the best for the next 2 years with your 5-year goal plan. And as you know, when you start looking and buying your own book, driving 30 minutes around with your wife Roxanne, looking for books that you can't find, you must know it must be something very important to read.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the show. Details of Clint Crowster will be on your screen. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation right here on Time Out with GC.